In this video, I'm going to be testing 2000 IQ traps in ARK to see if they work. When people think of traps in games, they think of Minecraft, they think of Rust, but ARK actually has some potential for traps too, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, ARK has some basic traps built into the game already. For example, the bear trap. Pretty easy to see and can be disarmed by anyone. Not the best for trapping, it's more used to slow people down. So we're not going to be focusing on that at all. ARK also has the improvised explosive device, or the IED. Now by itself, the damage is very low. It does about 100 damage to someone wearing primitive armor, but we can use this for other things, kind of like a trigger. So first we've got to make the IED not so obvious. So if we place it on a thatched ceiling, the wire is hidden. Still a little bit obvious, but if we place storage boxes on top of the IED, it's completely hidden, and walking over it will still trigger the explosion. Big shout out to One Wing for this. He's an old school ARK YouTuber who first put out this type of trap content. I don't think he uploads anymore, but he was the one that made this trap. So now that we know how to hide the IED and that the explosion will destroy thatched ceilings, we can use this to build a trap that causes people to fall to their deaths. So what I built here is what I just showed. The IED is hidden under the boxes. I've just built a little house around it to make it less obvious. And I set up a torch in front because people won't be able to help themselves once they see a torch from checking it out. So you walk in the house, you could decorate it a little bit better to make it less obvious again. You walk past the boxes, the IED triggers, the thatch floor is destroyed, and you fall to your death. Only most people won't fall to their deaths because majority of the players in ARK carry parachutes around with them. The way you can get around this is by building this trap over lava. That would stop them from being able to use the parachute because they would just die anyway. Alright, so I've jumped on a PvP server. We're going to test the traps out, of course. Can't just test them out in single player. We're going to test the trap that kills you by fall damage next to the Alpha Tribe's TP. They've been pretty active because I was farming underneath them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to whistle my Pteranodon into their turrets and get it killed. And then hopefully they come and check it out, and then they see this little walkway here that I'm building. We most likely won't get the kill, as I said, because majority of ARK players have a parachute, but let's see what happens. There we go, Pteranodon's dead. Now I'm just going to crouch here and hide. Alright, I didn't have to wait long, guys. It was about 2 minutes of waiting. And someone rocked up on a phoenix. So here we go. Let's see what he decides to do. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Okay. So as I was saying that, the one person that we managed to get, and he didn't press his parachute. So pretty lucky. There you go. Trap number 1. Confirmed that it actually works. And he died of fall damage. Now for the next trap, I'll be showcasing a different mechanic altogether. And that is when a structure that has C4 on it is destroyed, the C4 will explode and do damage. As you can see here by me destroying the storage box, it has C4 on the back. Once I destroy it, I explode and die. So using this mechanic, we can actually use it to build traps. I've devised the perfect trap. If there's one thing ARK players love, it's destroying other people's hard work. So over here, I built myself an art gallery with a sign that says, please do not destroy the artwork. So that alone should be enough to get them to destroy it. But just in case, I painted myself the Mona Lisa, SpongeBob, a sign that says subscribe to Six Shadows, some My Little Pony stuff, and the Raid Shadow Legends logo. And no, this video is not sponsored. Little do they know, the billboard has C4 strapped to the back of it, and quite a lot of C4 too. So if someone hits the billboard even one time, they'll definitely be dead. The way you build this one is like this. You place down a billboard, lower its health as low as possible, strap C4 to the back as much as you want. The C4 will then stick through the front of the billboard, which is obviously not ideal when you're trying to build a sneaky trap. That's where the painting canvases come in. Place the canvases over the C4 to cover it up and paint whatever you want on the canvas. Now to cover the back of the billboard, you're going to want to place a foundation lined up with the billboard. Build some walls up, and there you have it. The art gallery is complete and the C4 is hidden. For the second trap, the art gallery, I'm going to set it up near Ragnarok Blue Obelisk. It's kind of like the spot where everyone hangs around on PvP servers and fight. And it's a little bit out of the way because I couldn't build too close to the obelisk on this server. It's just some random PvP server, but it was the most populated at the time. So we'll go ahead and place it here. Didn't take long at all. So here we go. Someone is here on their Pteranodon. Well, wait a second. He's pulling out a paintbrush. What the fuck? Don't you do it. Of course. Of course, that's what he decided to draw on the paintings. And he flew away. Alright, of course. So I'm going to type in chat for him to come back. Okay, he didn't actually leave. He was literally right next to me. Were you the one that did this? Ah, he pulled out the paintbrush. He's done. For the third trap, we're going to be using a different mechanic again. This time we're going to be using the pressure plate, a pretty unknown and unused item in ARK. It was introduced back in Genesis 1 and I'm pretty sure almost no one uses it. I completely forgot about it until I decided to make this type of video. Once you stand on it, it will cause any structure with the same pin code to activate or deactivate depending on how you set it up. So here's an example of how I can use it to trap people inside of a base. Okay, but everyone on PvP servers just carries C4 around and will just get out of the base, so it's useless. That's where the mechanic of the previous trap comes in. Any structure with C4 will cause an explosion. So as you can see, they're in this base, they either hit the storage box or they place a C4 of their own and they'll be completely blown up. So let me show you how to build this one. You start by lowering the foundation to hide the pressure plate. I like to use 2 just to be safe and set the same pin code on both of them. Place down some boxes near the edge of the wall and lower their health. Strap C4 to the back of the boxes like this. I like to put C4 on all the foundations too, just to make sure it kills even well-geared players. Then you're going to want to place down the second layer of foundations to cover all the C4 and pressure plates. Place the walls around the base, the door and the door frame. Set the same pin code on the door as the pressure plates. And on the pressure plate, don't forget to choose the setting on trap activated. Deactivate structures that will cause the door to close. So whenever someone walks in the base, they walk over the pressure plate, the door behind them will be closed. And there you go, the trap is complete. For the next one, I'm going to actually test it out next to this base. Like I was kind of flying past it and I saw the guy out farming. So we'll go ahead and get the trap placed down. There we go. And he should notice this pretty quickly because it's a pretty open area. I doubt it's going to take long for him to see the base. He is down on the beach right now fighting someone. I don't actually know what they're saying. They're saying stuff in chat as well. Alright, here we go. He's flying in now. Now, this is probably my favorite trap out of all of them. Like, once you're inside, you're guaranteed to be dead. Doesn't matter what kind of armor you're wearing. So he's inside. You might have saw earlier, I included a sign that said the pin code for the door is inside the boxes, just to give people more incentive to actually punch the box. And there we go. He did just that. I thought for a second that he couldn't read English, and we actually managed to kill the Pteranodon as well. So that's how much C4 was in that little box. Trap number 3 was a success as well. So as you've seen so far, you can make quite a few variants of explosive traps. But how about something a little bit more reusable? Something better for the environment, you know? Something that doesn't explode. So don't worry, I got you covered. As I said earlier, the pressure plate can be used to activate or deactivate any structures with the same pin code. Using this knowledge, we can set the pressure plate to turn on disabled turrets. So this trap I got here isn't really practical, it's just for fun. Because jump pads are kind of buggy, they won't always put you in the same spot. But let's just say you saw this random jump pad in the middle of nowhere. You decide to take the jump pad because the turrets nearby are unpowered. So you get on the jump pad, but little do you know, it lands you on top of my pressure plate, which causes the turrets to activate and shoot you. As I said, not the most practical, but we can improve on it. Here's a more complex version. This one is called the trap house. So it looks just like a normal base, but when you walk inside, the first pressure plate causes the door behind you to close. Now, if you look around, it seems to be safe. However, once you step further into the base on the next pressure plate, all 4 doors will open and heavy turrets behind the doors will kill you. Now, you could say these traps are reusable, but honestly, once you trap someone, they'll definitely just come back and blow this up. So let me show you how to build this one, and honestly, it's pretty simple once you already know how the pressure plate works. Once again, you're going to want to start by lowering the foundations and choose the layout you want for the base. Place down 2 pressure plates. On the first one, set a pin code and choose deactivate structures. On the second one, select a different pin code and choose activate structures. You want to place a layer of foundations on top to cover the pressure plates. Place walls around the base. Place the doors and door frames. Place heavy turrets behind the doors inside the base. Now on the main door to the base, set the same pin code as the first pressure plate. And on the turret doors, set the same pin code as the second pressure plate. And there you go. You walk into the base. The door behind you closes, you walk further into the base and the doors where the turrets will open and you'll be shot to death. Alright, now for the last trap, probably the most time consuming one to build. I saw some people over in the distance actually taming some stegos. There was one guy on a phoenix and one guy on a pteranodon, and they had like a little tech fob down, little generator. So I'm going to see if I can lure the pteranodon guy into the trap after I'm done building it. All right, here we go. He's on me. Can I lure him in? Probably not. Doesn't look like he wants to go in. He's still just chasing me around. I could try and run in myself, but like it would trigger the trap doors and the door would close, so I don't think that's gonna work. I'm gonna run in anyway. Oh, he's got rockets. He's rocketing my base. The trap is ruined. Oh, he's getting beamed by the turrets though. Never mind. Looks like he got away. I think he just got out of turret range. So no commentary for this part. I was just kind of laying here next to the trap while I edited my video. And some guy actually did run up on foot. It wasn't here. Ragnarok blew up again. And we managed to get the kill with the trap. So not as effective, probably because of the area that I built it in. Probably need to build this one a little bit more in advance before you try and lure someone into it. You probably saw me building it when it was taming. Either way, all 4 traps managed to get a kill. I'm going to say all 4 of them were a success.